So my name is Thiago Shimada Ramos. My handle is Thiago for Go. You will find me in GitHub and any other place. I started my journey using AI. Soon I became a developer. This was back in 2023. Yeah, 2023 was when I started developing. And this time, that during that time, you have like copilots, right? Not copilot, GitHub copilots, autocomplete probably. This is how I started, and I feel like, wow, this is amazing. I was programming in PHP. I don't need to put a semicolon at the end of the line. Crazy, you know? Saved me a lot of time. After that, you have so many things that happens in this during these 2, 3 years. And today I want to share a little bit on this topic that it is the agent coding. 2022-25 was the year of these tools. You have Claude, you have Claude Code, you have Cursor, you have many other tools. Some tools are web browser, some tools is like CLI, some tools is integration of VS Code, and some other tools are just a fork of VS Code, right? Nobody really built something really from scratch. So I will share this one. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this tool that I'm using here. This is called Notebook LM. Notebook LM is from Google. It's free to use. Just create an account and go and to use. I have been using this. Let me show you. My first Notebook LM was September of 24. I was using that to get my first certification at AWS. So I use it to study. And until today, and many more features today that will help me to study. So I will share this with you so you can scan this QR code to have access to this notebook. And I will not go through all the things in that notebook. You can play by yourself. That is mind map, that is presentations, audio overview, visual overview, quiz, anything, it's just crazy how much information you can process using these tools. Oh, good. So yeah, let me show you one of these things. One of these is this infographic. Have you tried to do an infographic this last month? Was not like this, right? Can you imagine? This is like a Gemini Nano Banana Pro building an infographic that there is no text error. Everything looks perfect. And this is just what is happening. Technology is moving so quickly, so fast, that it is really difficult to follow. But you don't need to follow. Just keep looking time at a time. If you something that didn't happen last week, maybe next week someone already fix. So keep it trying. Today I will talk about this thing that it is spec-driven development and the AI-driven software development life cycle. So back in the day, you start by the code and you ask your building me this, building me that. And when it is a greenfield, it's really nice, it's easy, right? You are building from scratch. There is anything that is going to happen is okay. And if it is working, profits, right? But then imagine that you are enterprise and then you needed to maintain some code. You are not working alone in that code base. Probably if you are a software engineer, you know that you will not work alone in any code base. You will divide that. And this is where spec-driven development come in play. Most of these tools, I believe, Klein was one of the tools, I believe, Raw Code have developed that to build the documentation for giving more context to the LLM about the code, right? And this is really helpful. But these days, I believe Agent MD is one of the things that you give more personality for the agent. But you can write the specifications, and these specifications become the real source code. When you define the intent of what you want and you define exactly how you want that, you can keep that as guardrails, or sometimes they call steering files on some other things. There is this repo called also Copilot, and they have kind of a lot of files that you can use for spec drive development. And this is a new thing, right? It is AI drive development. Right now, I have been writing a line of code No, no, no line of code. If I write a line of code, my boss will say, What you are doing?" Like put AI to work. You have so many tools to put AI to work. So let's put AI to work. So this is one of the presentation. I have a mind map, as I told you. You can come here and check around what it is this software development, spec driven development. That is a bit different from test drive development or domain drive development. All of things is just the new way of working. And I want you to take a look on this, okay? So go there, play around, and if you click like just to show how this mind map works, if you click here and say, I want to know what to mitigate the AI context drift, you click, then it will go through all the sources that I have put here. It will ground that information in the sources, so it's not hallucinating. And another thing that it is nice, so let me put this a little bigger so everybody can see. Oops, too big. Yeah, a little less. Okay. So after you do this one, you start. This is like a chat bot, right? Look, you're just asking about this. So I want to do some mitigation of this, and if you click in this, it will show you the source, what this coming from. So use this tool for like you need to have some documentation, right? You want to learn, you can keep it here. You can change how it behave as well. Um, Change the language if English is not your first language. Give you a look on this notebook LM. This is my presentation itself on the docs. I want to go a little more hands-on and show one of the new tools that I got to know yesterday. Okay, now the topic I have prepared a little bit early, but the tool that I'm gonna show today, I just learned this yesterday. So many of tools that exist today, this is another fork of the VS Code, and this one is built by one of the biggest clouds in the world. Not AWS, not Google, not Azure. Alibaba, yes, exactly, Alibaba. One of the biggest clouds of the world. Not in the Western world, right? But one of the biggest clouds on the world. And they just built this tool. And I want to show you something that I really, really, really found really amazing about this tool. So you can see there in the top that I'm about to clone one repo, right? What is that repo? VS Code. So VS Code is an open source project, and you can clone this, and you can build your own VS Code, right? There is this startup, I believe it is a joke, but it is called Shad IDE. So someone said that, but you are developing and you go to your TikTok. So they just integrate TikTok in your VS Code. So you don't even need it to change the screen. You can keep developing with your agent there and then check your stuff. So this is basically what it's doing. It's already cloning. And one of these tools that they, at least what this has, is called this Repo Wiki. So it's a Wikipedia. Most of the things that people, not Wikipedia, but I found when I started working with the code, that what the developer hates to do is documentation. Hates. The code explains itself, right? This is the mantra, right? Read the code and it will explain. But if you are not writing the code, how you know that what the code is doing? This is a big challenge, right? And these days you can use other tools to go through your code base and okay, let me explain this one, explain that one. But we had that problem of the context window, right? If you get something that is too huge, quite difficult, like VS Code here, I believe it will take time. I should have do this with another one, but I want to show what this tool can do. I will open another, maybe it's just the Wi-Fi that's not great. So I will open another window here with another code that I already did this. I just want to try with VS Code project, but let me open another project here that I did this. So it's quite similar. Everything looks really similar, right? You have as a VS Code can be. I have done this, I believe, with some demo here. And I'm using Windows with WSL. Um, yeah, so here it's create the content. So if I click here, it's already generated. Oh, it's just, gosh, it's the demo gods, okay? Sorry for that. Okay, so here we have the catalog. So what this catalog is doing is creating, okay, VS Code finally finished, but while VS Code is there, I want to do this then. So yeah, I will trust. Oops, I didn't trust. No problem, no problem. I will not run anything here. I just want to show those. So this is the VS Code code base, right? I will click here in this week, Repo Week, and I will click generate. It will take time because it will take and read all the files and send to some other place. Oh, this is empty. Okay, maybe because I did it the not trust, right? So let's trust this. Now I believe I can try again. Okay, now I'm again in a. Let me just confirm if I'm in the correct folder. Ah, okay. I believe it's because I didn't clone in the VS Code. Okay, so it looks like it started. Was just a bit different. Because I'm using WSL, I have some problem with my Windows, my Ubuntu environment, and these tools you need to connect sometimes over there. So let's just get back here and I will show you what happens with one of these projects. So I have a project that I just cloned. Right now, I'm taking a look on this project called Ghost. I'm building a platform for mentoring, and this Ghost looks like a nice way of creating a content sharing platform that you can self-host. But I don't understand much about this, so I decided to clone. I could go there, read the README, trying to install and do everything else, but I can just come here and now create this really nice documentation. Just let me get this. Yeah, so everyone can see, right? So again, the tool that I'm showing here is this Repo Week, and here is the table of content. So here we have the introduction, what it is Ghost, how is the architecture. It creates all these diagrams, nice diagrams. Who want to go and see a little more. The front end, what it is, the shared libraries, what it is tools is using, how the application connect with this framework. And all of this was done by AI. You can just click one button and everything is there. You can have the tech stack, all the technology that it is using, how the React components work with the backend, the TypeScript, and everything else. So I was thinking when I start my journey as a developer, the company that I was working has this PHP code that was built in 2000 something. And there is no documentation. Back then there was no version control also. So I was like they really love living in the edge. And if I have this kind of tool that you can just click and see what is going on, how the JavaScript library, because it is using, right? It's PHP with jQuery and everything else go really crazy. And you need to debug that time after time. This kind of tool was like, wow, game change. So that's why I decided to show this tool. This is just one of the things that I believe they are, I would say, upfront. I heard that you can do the code-based indexing using, I believe it's Klein or other tools. So what it is going to do is indexing, if you're not familiar with this term, is you will embed all your code base so you can make it AI search about it easy. So yeah, this is one of the tools. I believe it's nice, right? I'm not sure. I didn't read everything, but just to have these visuals and all the texts relating to what part it is doing what, how the testing working here, and this is all related to the code. I don't think it created this. I mean, there is no documentation in here in these text files that give all that information. So it really goes through all the coding, the code here, and generate that documentation. So give it a try. Right now, it's free to use for the first month. Oops. And that's why I had to stop sharing that here because I want you to take a look on this one. This is called Qoder. So you can use that link. We are partnering with them a little bit to, they are supporting us. And I was like, yeah, another tool, right? Just another tool, but let's give it a try. And this is it. If you get here, you can get up to 1,000 credits to use and help me to review, optimize this code base. You will receive another 300 credit. And I believe they launched this in September, so not so long ago, and they got to 100,000 developers using the tool in 5 days. So yeah, China numbers, right? It's another thing that you can just say something. Yeah, it's just one neighbor, and they got all of this. But yeah, take a look on this. They are looking for ambassadors as well to have to help the how to say, to help promote this new brand. But I was like, oh, let me give it a try, right? I'm using different tools as well. I have my favorites these days. It's Kiro, but it's similar. But one other thing that these do is the question mode. So you can go to question mode and you can start a task, ask something, it will do and test. They show us, they give us a repo here called Agentic Code Durability Evaluation Test Set. So here is just some code base that you can clone and test. And if you want to go to this one, this is the QR code. So this is the QR code for the testing benchmark that they have used. So I can do this with you, Joe. I was just trying to see how it works on, imagine that you want to fork your VS Code and launch your own, have your own, right? That is this really nice build your own X. Now you can build your own X with AI. So let me take one of this code here, like a Reacted JS demo. And what it say is you can just clone this. Let me open another one here, just a moment. I have done this before, but bear with me. Coding React. Oh, sorry, still use a Coder because I need to open the VS Code. Wrong choice. It's Coder. Okay, so let's see what they ask us to do as a demo. I'm just coded this, and there is this prompt in here, prompt MD. It's saying, take this prompt, copy this, go to the quest, new task, and paste. So let me just make it a bit bigger. I'm not sure exactly what, too big again. I'm not sure exactly sure what this code base does, but let's give it a try. So it said to implement a color conversion component that convert RGB colors to X format. If you're not familiar, it's okay, not the end of the world. The component page has a button that when clicked, display a dialog for three input box that entering RGB values respectively. Click the conversion button and the corresponding X value starting with a hash will appear in the dialog. So it's just creating a new feature, right? Let's give it a try. And while this is giving a try, the way that it's working, we will design and it will create all the spec drive development that we have talked about. So we start with a vibe coding short sentence, but then it will go through all the repo, create a design, reading the everything else, create an action flow, and then if you are okay with that, you can just execute. So this is kind of, how to say, is a heavy opinionated way of working with these tools, but the spec drive development and the AI drive development is not like this. The idea is that you build with your company and your team what it is the best practice that you want to do in that code base. Because otherwise, you are just following the opinionated version of another tool. Okay, let's give this a try. While it's doing that, I want to see if the documentation for VS Code has finished. Uh, is this VS Code? No. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, and hide this. Yeah, this is VS Code. Okay, yeah, it's still processing. You can see that it will take a bit of time, right? It is 3 of 48 files, 6%, so it will take a lot bit of time. But what it has done is already has done. So it divide here, what is the core architecture, how the event driver system works. So this is a funny, like I believe Akash was telling me, they are using Cursor to build Cursor, right?
Yeah.
Because they can process all this data, getting everything, and then really going as specific where they want and make the change and improve the system. And this is really amazing. That people from Cursor is just nuts. They are young, right? They are just some teenagers decided to build some really amazing tool. Okay, while this is doing, I want to share one thing that I went to a talk in New Zealand beginning of the year, about April, and a guy shared with me one thing that I believe is worth sharing with you too. So where it is here? No, here. Okay, I have it downloaded, so just a moment. Okay, so this was a presentation from VP from AWS, and he was saying, what happens with the developer? The developer has spent a lot of time sitting, eating the books, typing a lot, becoming like you can type 300 per second, right? Like crazy, crazy stuff. But now this skill is not more relevant. AI can type much, much faster than you even can imagine. So where is the point for the new skills? Is the creativity. So you need to keep being creativity. Go walk, go do something that you never done. One class of innovation that I had back in the business school, try to brush your teeth with a different hand. This is something that will make some different connections in your brain, and you can maybe become a little more creative. Not difficult, right? But have a try. You will do like this. You are doing like this, and then you are like, oh no, I got back into the because you have this connection so much done in your brain that you needed to change a little bit. Abstraction skills, not even say, you are abstracting. The layer of abstraction that we come from coding to this, that is intent, is really huge. We are jumping from right machine learning, assembly, then you have language, and now you have natural language. So the level of abstraction is really huge. And the third and the superpower will be the empathy. Machines don't have feelings, no matter how much you love your girlfriend AI. They don't have feelings. Sorry. The machine don't have feelings. It's just a silicon there. It was a stone. It still is a stone. It is not have its own feelings. So the empathy for it will be the superpower. Okay, if you want to be empathy with the robots, I believe is important. And I didn't say ChatGPT, sorry for that, if you're listening. Because this is right. It is one person to another person. This will be the superpower, especially when you are working a team. You need to understand that people have a different way of thinking, different way of seeing the world. Everyone has a different experience. And the better you have empathy, the better you'll be successful. Then look to the future. AI will not be just coding, right? 2020s, we did a lot of coding. We really type and have tabs. Nobody uses tabs, right? Nobody uses tabs anymore. Why you are typing? Two, AI as a partnership. AI will be really there. Code less, think more. Use AI to really argumentate with you. I always start with, okay, let's brainstorm something. What is the tool? What is the best tool? Why doing this way? And then you let the AI do the thing. And I believe next year will be the year of the robots. The robots is coming, you know? They are coming. Be aware. Okay, so let's just see if the demo has finished. I believe this one. So you can accept the design. Once the design is accepted, it will go to the action flow, I believe. Yeah, so you can see that it is built a lot of documentation to start. That's really important because how LLM works is it tries to predict the next word based on the previous word. So if you have all these contexts and then you start, it will be much better than start some way, having different words in there. This is how it is doing, and then now it will take that design and create the actions. So it's basically that. Now, the actions that will be built already have a lot of context, and then it will be better. It's kind of a prompt improvement. You are always improving the prompt that improve the prompt that improve the prompt, and then go for the action. I believe this is what I have to say today, and what it is. Da-da-dum. Yeah, sorry. I have maybe one more slides. No, that's it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have the quiz? Slido? No? I believe Yonkan has done the slides. Okay, so first, anyone has connect have any questions? I'm here to. Yes?
Yeah, that tool you showed to us about the documentation is really interesting tool, but I can see that they to look at more about business the architecture side of the code. If you can, if I want to use it to understand the code, the first thing, can it help us?
Yeah. Actually, the explanation is not just business, it's really about the code. So if we go back here, so this is VS Code is still processing. Let me get the one that has finished before. So like this one.
I think that's the code stuff.
Yeah, so you have all the framework API reference, and then here you have the architecture of that, and then you can go for the hooks. Oops, this is trying to go to the link is broken, but here you can understand how is this one is the calling of the API call. So you understand what it is requesting, where it is the response from that. And that is really helpful to debugging any code. And I believe they have done, at least from what I was looking at, it has also the code itself, like kind of a fluxogram of the code. Let me see if it has maybe here. Setting, architecture. Yeah. This is overview, core components. And I found interesting, like here you have the code, right? So this part of the code, I'm not totally familiar with this code, but you can see that from here, these functions is using that function, that use that, and use that, and then you can go deeper in the code. A bit easier than trying to understand it just reading the code, right? Sometimes if you're a developer, you know that it's just a function calling maybe another function that has a class. And to understand that, you need to go open a file, open another file. And if this at least save a bit of time, and I think that is nice, it actually give you the reference. I believe it say where it is, right? The source. So I don't know why here. Okay. It's because I have created this inside this and it get the G with the wrong. So if you go here, apps, admin X settings, source, and the app, this is exactly where the code is. And then you can take a look on, okay, now I saw the diagram, I understand a little bit more how it works. You can go and go deeper in the code. Okay? Yeah. Yes?
Does this tool send the source code to internet to a remote server?
Yes.
So definitely your source code will be exposed to.
Exactly. Hopefully,
But most of the company they don't.
yeah, I understand. And this is really a concern for a lot of companies. And that's why if you understand how this was built, it's just saying it's a code, asking for understanding, sending back. And nowadays you can have different tools. I believe Cursor has that. You can set your own private endpoint, and you can set and use that. Like AWS on Bedrock, you can serve a model, even the closed source model, in your own network, basically. But I believe in the future we will have more local AI and having this code not sent through the internet, because this is a really concern, right? You're sending all the code and get back. And this is pretty sure, you know, that if the tool is free, the product is you, right? In this case, the product is your code. Who is paying is with your code. Yes?
That's differential diagram is generated by AI or designed by you.
No, everything was done by AI. I just clicked one button with
The view order, I think was
Sorry?
you generate ChatGPT or like.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I forgot the name of the model that Alibaba has. I'm not sure if it's Quan or any other. I don't remember exactly the name. But it is using model from Alibaba, and we are sent to Alibaba Cloud going back. Yes.
Yeah, since I'm not like too proficient with the tech data yet, so my question is more like confirming my understanding on your like sharing. Is it did you just like use REST code to achieve the like the detailed documentation of the code? And like how do you like actually like upload the code to the terminal? Because I'm not sure if it's Qoder or like REST code. So it's like did you guys look kind of the same yet? So,
Oh yeah, the VS, this is a fork of VS Code. So VS Code is an open source project from Microsoft, and you can fork that and make the change that you want. So what they did is they created this. In VS Code, you can add some add-on plugins, right?
Yeah.
This is really similar to a plugin. So they just added this plugin, and when I click there, it did exactly that, right? So I click in this plugin, and this plugin is the Repo Wiki, and it click here to generate. And if you have changed anything in the code base itself, you can click again here and synchronize. It will update the documentation.
how does it with the code base that you upload?
Oh yeah, the code base is just here. It was this is so this one.
Oh yeah, so it just under like certain you just like read it using REST code.
Yes, it will get the files, send it to the internet, process somewhere, and give me back the documentation.
Yeah, but it's like not like deployed locally. It's still like kind of goes through like Alibaba's cloud.
Yes, for sure. This is going to Alibaba Cloud and going back and forth. If I disconnect from the internet, it will not work. Okay. Okay, one last question, and that's it.
You going forward the documentation and everything through AI. If at any point it started hallucinating, how do you know what that comes from? How are you thinking?
Well, you need to go to the documentation, check if it is correct or not, right?
How would you know if you're not a
Well, then you go back 2 steps and try to do this like the old base, right? You take this, take a unit test, try to run. And this is another thing that I would like to say. Today we are using AI agents, and usually what we do is we ask in one window, one chat, build something, test that thing, redeploy that thing. And what happens is AI become really lazy, and because they are building on us, right? So my workflow these days is I use one to define, I use another with agents, definition agent, right? You had a system prompt to test, and then you have another one to really deploy, because otherwise it happens a lot with me before. I say, yeah, do the test to this. Oh, the test is not passing. If I comment this out, now it's passing. Yay! Didn't work, right? So that's the way of doing it. I believe is that you have a multi-agent systems to build and test it and have everything correct. Okay, thank you again, everyone.